All right, so the next thing we want to do is we want to mark roughly across the top where our next tier is going to go, because I want to make sure and not fill that area with sanding sugar, or else my next tier won't sit smoothly on it. So our next tier is the gold tier that we have airbrushed. So we're going to just set that on here. And you don't have to actually set your tier. You can put down a board. If you know your tier is 6 inches, you can put down a 6-inch board and you're going to get the same effect. So I'm just going to slide this on here, and I'm going to go ahead and again make a rough mark all the way around. This one doesn't have to be exact. I'm just trying to give myself a little bit of an idea, because I'm going to go in and fill it in after I actually add this tier to it, but I don't want to have to fill in the entire top there. So I've got that on there. I can see now where it is. Left a little gold paint on there, but that's okay. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take piping gel, and we're going to cover all the areas that we want for our sanding sugar to stick with piping gel. You can do that with a brush. I like doing it with a brush because it has to be on there fairly thick for the sugar to stick. So let me go around and do this, and I'll be back once I get it all on there, and I'll show you how to attach the sugar. Okay, so I've added my piping gel across the top. Now you notice I'm leaving this center area blank. So now I'm going to put the piping gel on the bottom, and I'm putting it on fairly thick because I want the sugar to have something to stick to. Otherwise, it's just going to fall and slide right down. So I'm going to go ahead and go all the way around on this side. And you don't want to do this and then walk away, because eventually the piping gel will dry out and the sugar will not stick. So we're going to go all the way around with our piping gel, leaving that center area blank, not having any gel. All right, now it's time to use our piping sugar. Now you're going to, or our sanding sugar. Now you're going to see why I put it in the tray like this. Because I want to catch all this sanding sugar. If I were to do it on my counter, it would be a mess. So I'm actually going to have to dry my hand off, because I have some gel on here and I don't want it to stick to my hands. I want it to make sure it only stick to the cake. So make sure your hands are nice and dry and gel free. And we're going to take our sanding sugar. I have to open it up first. And you can get sanding sugar at any cake decorating stores. I know they have it at a lot of the hobby stores. They have it any store that sells cookie or cake decorating supplies has sanding sugar. And what sanding sugar is it's just a really big kernel of sugar, and it gives it that nice blingy. So we're going to take this and we're going to just start sprinkling it on the top like this, all the way around, because the top is the easy part, and I can kind of spread it around all here. But see how I'm catching it all in my pan? Like that. So I'm going to sprinkle it all the way around on the top. Make sure that's kind of covered. And now for the sides, what you have to do is you have to fill your hand, and you have to kind of put it around like that. So fill a little bit in your hand and kind of spread it on there. And I'm just spreading it around, and if it falls and catches in the tray, that's okay, because we're going to go pick that all up and use it again for the ones that didn't stick. So I'm doing the top part first, going all the way around. And if your hand starts to get some piping gel on it and the sugar starts to stick to your hand, then you're going to need to wipe your hand off again. Because like I said, you don't want the sugar to stick to your hand, you want it to stick to the cake. So adding more. And you can do this, see how I'm doing this with sanding sugar? You can do it with any kind of decoration. You know, when you use the little different colored, you can do it with small silver or gold dragées. Those people tend to put on with royal. They attach them all with royal, which you can do. They don't stick as well to the sanding sugar unless they're really tiny ones. But if you're using the really, really tiny ones, you can use this kind of method. So we're going to go all the way around like this, and I'm just pouring a little bit of